Hey guys, it's Holly. So today I wanted to take a look at the brand new 2021 LEGO Chinese New Year Spring Lantern Festival set. Now when this first came out, this set really intrigued me. It looked absolutely gorgeous, and it was found out as well that it is a modular function and can be taken apart. Now I personally don't own any modulars. I love the look of the modulars. I've always really kind of wanted one, but I have never gotten around to owning one. So this technically I'm counting as my first modular, even though it technically doesn't count anyway. So this is set 80107. It has 1,793 pieces and retails for $120 US and 170 Australian. Now for us in Australia and China and majority of Asia, I believe, this set released on January 1st, which is how I was able to get it so early in comparison, because in North America and Europe and the UK, I'm pretty sure this set will be releasing on January 10th. This is one of two brand new Chinese New Year sets, and this one has sold out. The other one has not gone quite as quickly, so if you are interested in picking this up relatively early, I would suggest getting it pretty soon. This thing is absolutely gorgeous and has some really nice minifigure prints as well, so let's take a look at them first. So our first minifigure we have is our Foodie, and he does come with a spoon and a little bowl with a really nice round dumpling 1x1 printed tile. Now you do get two of these in this set. I don't know if this is supposed to be extra or if they just gave you two, and to my surprise that tile actually doesn't attach to it. I thought it was going to be a stud connection, but turns out it just sits in the bowl nice and flush. So admittedly, when I've been moving the set around, this tile kind of has gone flinging around, so I would be extra careful with this and make sure you really do keep a track of that print, because it is very, very cute. Taking away the spoon and the bowl though, we'll have a better look at his torso, and he looks like a classic festival goer, at least in my opinion, with his little zip up jumper on. But more importantly, he seems to have some sort of satchel and bag on his back there to keep a hold of his change so he can go and buy some of the beautiful food that the festival has to offer. But the best thing about this figure, hands down, is that face print. He has got a mouthful of dumplings and it just looks so cute, especially paired with that bowl accessory. And then on the other side, he's got a really, really wide grin, smiling ear to ear. He is just having the time of his life, taste testing all of the different food that the festival has to offer. So our next minifigure in this set is wearing a really nice 2021 Year of the Ox hoodie and is holding a cup of what I presume to be some sort of boba or bubble tea, which is a really nice build using a 1x1 stud, one of those cone pieces placed upside down, and then one of the little superhero minifigure stands at the top for a straw. The torso print is also really, really nice. I love the hoodie design, but more importantly, I love the back printing with kind of the ox horns on the back of the hood. It just looks really cute. Then he's just got some plain blue legs, a single-sided face, and that classic windswept hair in black. Now with this set as well, you do get two versions of these torsos. You do get one with him, but you also do get one with this female here, who to me either feels like it's his sister or his girlfriend, and I'm not entirely sure which one, which is kind of concerning for me. But anyway, she also comes with that beautiful torso print, so I'm really glad that you do get two in this set. And then she has that really nice black ponytail hairpiece that I love. She's got some light blue jeans on and a really nice face print, and comes with a selfie stick, which honestly is one of my favorite accessories out of this set. I just think it's absolutely hilarious, and it makes for some really good poses as well when you're doing in the Chinese gardens, which I love. I wish LEGO did something like this earlier when selfie sticks really took off, but even then I think it's fantastic. And that whole build is just done using a bar piece. Then you've got one of these clips here, a modified 1x1, and then a printed cell phone at the end. Next up we have a little family, starting off with the dad, who has got that robin hair piece which is swept over, which looks really good. He also has that brand new jumper, which I've first seen in the builder minifigure section at my local LEGO store, which was on one of the figures that I managed to get a hold of, and I loved this sweater to begin with, so it's really good to see it popping up again, especially with that arm printing continuing round. It looks adorable. He also does come with a camera in classic dad fashion. What more would you expect? And taking that off, you can see he's just got some plain tan legs and that really nice face print with glasses, which is in fact double-sided, which I really like. So in case he doesn't feel like reading the menu, he can then see properly just with his regular face and a smile. But to me, the glasses face looks a lot more detailed and just looks a lot better for him. Like he's watching his kids play around in like the koi pond or something, ready to take a photo in classic dad at a festival on a family weekend fashion. Next up, we have the mum, and she only has a single-sided face this time, and she comes with a black coloring of the Captain Marvel hairpiece. She's got a really nice orange cardigan on with her shirt tucked into a brown belt and a really nice heart-shaped necklace print there. She's also got some plain white pants on and comes with an orange phone with a bunch of message bubbles. So that tells me that, you know, her group chat is popping off. Like she is sending a bunch of messages of how great this festival is to all of her friends on the group chat, sending photos. Like she's having a grand old time here, really flexing how great her life is. Next up, we have Jemima. Just kidding, her name isn't actually Jemima. I've just named her that for now. And she also came with this white rabbit, which has this really nice star print on the back. And I'm thinking this is a plushie rabbit, otherwise it wouldn't have, you know, a tattoo on its butt. And then here we have the actual Jemima, little girl figure of the family, and she comes with these teal pants and a unicorn printed jumper with opposing arm colors, which look really nice. It gives me like vibes of that color blocking style, which has come back in recently. She also comes with that short black pigtails piece, which I know is a recolor of the one used in Gabby Gabby in the Toy Story 4 sets. I also believe this has come up in some of the old CMF series. In particular, I believe it was series 18, but do not quote me on that. And then she does have a double-sided face, which has popped up quite a few times. I remember this being from the Halloween Hayride seasonal set. And our last proper minifigure is Jimmy, or the son of the family. He's not actually called Jimmy. I also just gave him a name just then, and he looks really cute. He's got a really nice jacket and t-shirt face print, which I believe is a monkey underneath. He's got some plain green legs and also comes with a red scarf piece, which he's wearing back to front, or I guess it's right around. It's a scarf at the end of the day. He also comes with this really nice lantern stick build with one of these really beautiful printed ox minifigure head lantern pieces, which are featured all around the set quite a few times. They pop up, so it's really nice to get one just as a minifigure accessory as well, because that golden ox printing looks absolutely adorable. Now, little Jimmy here comes with that classic spiked up hairpiece, which was used for Ross in the Lego Friends Ideas set, and he does have a double-sided face, looking a bit more sad, as if maybe he accidentally saw a koi fish floating upside down in the pond. I'm not entirely sure. Now, technically there is one more minifigure, although he's more of a statue in this set than an actual minifigure, and it is this entirely red figure with this really nice torso print and a transparent red head. Now, this print looks gorgeous with that metallic gold printing, especially when I point it towards the light like this, and it looks really reflective. I'm imagining it says something along the lines of Happy Chinese New Year. I do not know, I'm sorry. On the back as well, you do get a printing of a lantern and a bowl of dumplings, as well as some flowers. They could be cherry blossoms, they could just be flowers, or they could be fireworks. I'm not entirely sure, but this statue is really cool, and I love this exclusive print. So here are the Chinese gardens, and this set is so pretty. I was lucky enough to be able to see it on display at the Lego store before I purchased it, and honestly, I'm glad I called up in order to purchase it, because they only had 2 left when I rung up at opening, and then when I went to pick it up a few hours later, it had completely sold out. And honestly, I'm not surprised. This set is gorgeous, and for the price as well, I honestly feel like you're getting really good value. This is borderline, to me, a modular set for a much lower price. It's a lot more open than a modular set, and not, you know, not much of a building, but it is really gorgeous, and the Technic pins, being able to kind of rotate it and switch it around, is absolutely amazing. amazing. I personally wouldn't do it like this just because I think the lampposts are a bit too close to each other, but that is an option as well. I mean, I guess you can always just move these over and stick it there like that. Like, it's very customizable and very, very neat. Now, firstly, I'm going to take a look at the first building we build in this set, which is this giant one on a 32 by 32 base plate. Now, this section of the set I did build on a live stream, and it took me about 2.5 hours, and that involves, you know, reading chat, kind of interrupting. I did take a snack break. Now, the age recommendation for this set is 8 and up, and I definitely don't fault that, but if I was an 8-year-old building this set, it would take me a very long time, and I would honestly probably ask for an adult's help, and that mainly comes down to this koi pond here. This section here, if I just remove the little bridge for a second, this took me a very, very long time. Now, because of the nature of this build, the entire thing is kind of built up underneath using a lot of plates, and there's a lot of like triangular plates that all kind of interlock with each other. But the main issue I had with this lake was just kind of the placement of all of these translucent 1x2 tiles. It took me a very, very, very long time to get this right, especially like being on stream and interacting with people and trying to focus on 2 things at once. I did make quite a few mistakes, and honestly, it did mentally exhaust me. After building this set, I was very, very tired, and I wasn't even done with the entire thing, and I mainly put that down to the koi pond. In total though, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. I love these printed koi pieces. They are so pretty. I love these printed koi pieces. They are so pretty, and I love as well these little lanterns sitting on top of the lily pads. It's absolutely gorgeous. I also love how they've decided to put some of the flowers underneath the translucent tiles, and you can notice as well the pond isn't exactly translucent blue. So a technique that LEGO has done here is by putting black plates on underneath and then putting the tiles on top, and it just gives the water a lot more depth and make it look realistic, because as a whole, lakes don't usually look crystal clear like they do those translucent pieces. You can also see there is a little frog here, which when I put the bridge back on, he kind of sits in that little nook right there, and it's a nice little hidden Easter egg right there. He's really just chilling there. Now, before we go back inside to the actual festival gardens itself, I do want to take a moment to look at the architecture on the outside. So firstly, you do get a classic modular street looking thing here with a lot of grates and a few sections to stand minifigures on. You also do get the classic modular style lamppost. Now, unlike the actual modular buildings, this one is in black. So for this, they did put one of those kind of bike handlebar pieces onto the bottom of the lamppost build so that you could attach these 2 red lanterns. So this entire wall is built up using majority of light bluish grey and white bricks. These pieces here are 2 of those 2x4 jumper pieces, and then on the top you do get 2 light bluish grey oriental looking fences, which I love the design of these, kind of using them as windows for the outside. Hanging along the wall as well, you do get a mixture of different lanterns, 2 of which are the translucent red piece with the golden ox on it, and then you also get some 1x1 round bricks here. And then at the top you get this really nice roof design using a bunch of studs and some of those curved pieces at the top. Then in the center here you do get this really nice build which is slanted up, which features some of those Ninjago weapon handles in black with some of the horn pieces. Down the bottom as well you do get a cylindrical archway made up of using a bunch of slanted and curved pieces, which look really, really nice here, and I love how they've kind of made it look a bit better at the top. At the bottom of the entranceway as well you do get 4 different studs with a bunch of those kind of gold bar pieces in light bluish grey to represent a sort of entryway and path, which looks really nice. That pattern kind of follows in with a bunch of those gold bars used to kind of add a bit of texture to the pathway heading inside the actual build. On the other side of the fence you do get a much lower build, which is using those really nice curly architecture pieces with a bunch of tiles and then just some studs with a 1x1 tile on the top to kind of make that decoration. You also get 3 really nice lantern lampposts, which are all just stuck into the ground using one of those stick pieces. Then you get the Monkey Kid handle piece in black with a paint roller at the top, and then a little lantern build with these plasticky, shiny little banner things, which I honestly thought these were going to be some sort of cloth piece. Turns out they're a very kind of hard plastic. It feels very waterproof. The only thing that kind of ruins it for me is that the copyright Lego sign has to be right there. It kind of just pulls me out and doesn't make it look quite as good, which is such a shame because these are really nice. The final thing for this section out of the front is this little bench, and this is just tiled off as well, so no minifigures can kind of stick to it, but you can kind of collapse one of their legs down to make it look like they're sitting, and they sit there quite comfortably. Now heading back to the inside, I want to start with this little corner here where you have this really nice build of a tree. It reminds me kind of a cherry blossom tree. Moving on over to the other side, and we have this statue of an ox as well as this really nice lantern banner that has been made with some printed tiles hanging off of it. Both of these tiles are exactly the same and they look absolutely gorgeous. I also love how this lantern piece is done on one of those string pieces, and some of the lanterns have that really nice tassel. It just looks really good, and I'm really glad that there is variation as well in that lantern build. But taking a look at the ox specifically, this is where some sort of like play feature comes into play. So firstly, the ox is made and is kind of standing up using a translucent cylindrical piece in the middle there, and then underneath he's got these 4 1x1 tiles, and that is kind of how you do the feet. So if I pop the ox off, we can have a much better look at him. So the ox itself is a really interesting build. I love the use of the red and the mix between the translucent red and the regular red. I really like these printed pieces on the side as well, although I'm not too sure that these kind of slope pieces were the right way to go. Then again, I can't really think of another piece that would kind of work. It just feels like it's kind of got a dip from these really nice curves here to then these triangle cheese slopes. He also has one of those gold tassels as his tail, and then underneath you'll see that there is a light brick, and that is so that basically when you push it, there is a red light that shines out of his stomach, which honestly, I don't think this was completely necessary. It's really the only sort of play feature in this set. But it just doesn't, I don't get the purpose of this. It doesn't really serve anything. It's not like there's some sort of pattern on his chest print, and I don't know why a statue would need to light up. So it just feels kind of unnecessary to me, and we could have probably saved a few dollars on buying this set if it wasn't included. But I guess it is kind of neat. I don't get the point of it at all. His head build is really nice as well. You do get one of those ring pieces, which I remember being used as well in the Hogwarts Astronomy Tower last year. You also get these printed eyes slopes, which sometimes I did get it mixed up when putting these feet on, and I accidentally put a printed one down there, but that was just me not really paying attention. His horns are also done in that really nice pearl gold to kind of match all of the accents on the rest of the ox build, and overall I think it's a really nice looking statue. I just don't really think the light brick was necessary. So moving on over, you can see that there's this really nice pathway that kind of follows around and leads up to the bridge and kind of turns over onto the next section. And can I just say, this bridge build is absolutely gorgeous. I love how they've done these curved pieces down the top here, and you've kind of got those Technic ball joints as accents on either side. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love how these little lantern builds are scattered all throughout the set. I think it looks really good. And then kind of onto the final section, we do get these bamboo trees, which look really good, and I love kind of how simple they are, but how effective it is. You do get these ones which are attached at a ball hinge joint, so you can kind of move them around and position them, and these look absolutely gorgeous. I love how tall they are and how kind of detailed they are, but even how simple they are. I think what really benefits this is having the multiple different shades of green. Now moving on to the second part of the build, and this one is definitely a lot less detailed, but also still has some really nice build techniques used and kind of structure to it, although it is a lot more empty than I guess I initially thought it was. So starting with the outside, just like the other one, you do get another black lamppost, as well as that same door feature with the same build techniques used. The wall is just a bit smaller here. Also out the front, you do get these two really nice printed banners that are both hanging on the wall, which I think is really good, and that it has that really nice metallic gold print to it, which gives it a sort of sheen. On the left hand side is where the statue stands, and honestly I don't really like the box that he's kind of standing on. It just kind of feels like it was thrown together. I love the figure on it, and while it does kind of match, I feel like it could have done with being a bit more exciting and a bit more built up than it actually is. Moving on to the inside, we have some more of that little pathway with more of the gold bars, as well as some 1x3 plates, and then at the top you have two strings of lanterns, which is a mix of just plain red translucent heads, as well as the one with the ox printed on them, and both of them are kind of held up using some of those flex tubes and some sticks. Then at the back you also get some sort of bench, which is good. This time you do actually get some studs, so that way you can stick a character on them and they're not really gonna fall over. I don't know why I chose the one with the giant selfie stick, because as you can see, she kind of got a bit stuck there. In the back you have a little rock, and then you've got some on the sides, and then you have this beautifully built up rocky structure for which this little hut is going to sit on the top. At the back you do have some more bamboo shoots, which I really love, but just the way this is all built up using all of these rocks is absolutely beautiful. I loved the build techniques for this. It was really simple, actually. I was pleasantly surprised. And honestly, this structure is one of my favorite parts of the set. I guess besides all of the lanterns, the way that this is built is so beautiful, and honestly, I didn't realize it was going to be on that rocky structure, so that just made it even better. On the inside you can see that there is a little white table, and the table is just one of those white cylindrical pieces on top of this little cone piece that sits in the center, which is really nice. And the rest of this structure is all just built up using some of these pillar pieces mixed in with some Technic rods. It does kind of annoy me that there is no bar between there, but there's just a limitation with that piece. You can't have them on all four sides. Moving on up, you do have a mixture of some gold accents there with the dark red, and then at the top you have this beautiful roof design, which honestly just looks absolutely incredible. You have these teal green accents, you've got some dark red fences, and then you've got these dark blue roof panels with these little kind of bits in the middle, which are built up using some of those candlestick pieces in dark blue, which are clipped onto a Technic ring at the top with some dark blue bananas on the end to kind of make up those pillars. Oh dear, I just knocked off one of those pieces, that's awkward. Then at the very top you do get a round piece, which then has that kind of BB-8 Oscar the Grouch body with a Technic ball at the top to top it all off. And just the way that this is designed is absolutely incredible and looks so nice. There is also a printed tile underneath the roof of the building, which wasn't necessary but looks absolutely gorgeous. And then of course this does connect to the other one using these Technic pins, which just slide in like that. And this is kind of the way that this set is supposed to be displayed. However, you can kind of swap it around and mix it around. Now, because of those Technic pieces and also this like tiling at the front here of the street corner, this does fit very nicely with all of the modular buildings. Now, unfortunately, I do not own any modular buildings or any of the new road plates for that matter. I was really hoping to pick some up so that I can show you how this kind of works with all of that new system. So luckily, thanks to Brickset, I'm able to show you guys what this set looks like up against the other modulars. So Brickset has taken a few photos of it up against the latest Lego modular, the police station, but also as well as the bookshop. So here it is kind of used as a corner piece, as well as a kind of straight across street view. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Personally, I really prefer the corner piece, although I guess the kind of gaping back at the temple is kind of annoying, but overall I think it fits right in and it looks really good. The only thing that stands out is the fact that those lampposts are black, but that should be a very easy fix, especially considering those white lampposts are now back on bricks and pieces. So overall, this set is absolutely gorgeous, and despite taking a very long time to build this end section here, it was a lot of fun. It did mentally exhaust me, I do have to admit. It was very tiring to do, and I did do this on stream as well, which did kind of play a part in that. But it was pretty fun. The second half I did do technically on stream. I was just doing it while I was playing Among Us, and it was a lot more enjoyable, and I think it was a lot easier as well. It was less mentally straining as you didn't have to worry about the tile placement of that water, which was really good. And it did take me quite a long time as well. I kind of forgot how big this set actually is. It definitely doesn't look nearly 2,000 pieces, but it is. There is quite a lot of small pieces I realized when building this set. But overall, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's definitely one of my favorite of the Chinese New Year sets that I've seen. It's the first one I own, and out of all of the ones that I've ever known about or seen, definitely has to be up there. I'm glad it's not some sort of temple like we usually get, and instead you've got this really nice hut, and you've got some of the bamboo trees and the lanterns, and a little koi pond and a bridge. It just looks absolutely gorgeous, and I'm so glad that LEGO does sell this to absolutely everyone, because these sets are gorgeous and I would hate for them to be regional exclusives. I really like this set. I highly recommend it, although judging by what happened last year, I think this could go on sale on Black Friday. If you are willing to wait until then, and fingers crossed it stays in stock, I imagine it should be a lot easier to get later on in the year once kind of the Lunar New Year has passed. If you can wait until then and get this on sale, this is going to be even better, but even at full price, I highly recommend it. It's a gorgeous display piece, and if you have a LEGO city and have the modulars, this is a beautiful piece, because I know in quite a lot of cities there's always like a Chinatown or a Chinese gardens type of thing, so this is a really realistic and beautiful addition to any sort of city. Now, I have spoken about how I wanted to change this set into a sort of Mulan set and make it a mock, and I still do plan on doing that. I don't know when I'm going to get around to that, but that is a project that I really want to do, so please look out for that in the future. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.